They laughed at him. They said he would never make it. He was broke, rejected, and completely alone. But what happened next? No one could have seen it coming. This is the story of a man who went from rock bottom to the top of the world. A man who failed more times than he could count, yet refused to quit. If you've ever felt like the odds are stacked against you, like the world is telling you that you'll never make it, then this story is for you. Because sometimes the biggest success stories begin in the darkest places. Imagine waking up every morning with nothing, no money, no support, no opportunities, just a dream and a burning desire to prove the world wrong. That was John's reality. He had lost everything, fired from his job, drowning in debt, and abandoned by people who once called him a friend. He sent out over 100 job applications, not a single callback. His fridge was empty, his bank account even emptier. At night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was it. Was this all life had to offer? Was he just another failure, another person who dreamed big but ended up with nothing? John had two choices: give up, accept defeat, and let life crush him, or fight back, and he chose to fight. He started waking up at 5 a.m. every day, not because he had to, but because he needed to. He needed every second to count. While the world slept, he was learning, studying, working on skills he never had before. He devoured books on success, listened to podcasts, watched interviews of people who had made it despite the odds. Then, he did something crazy. He started a business. With zero money, no investors, and no experience, he built something from nothing. He knocked on doors. He made cold calls. He got rejected again and again and again. But he kept going. At one point, he was down to his last $10. He could either eat or invest it in his business. He chose the business. That night, he went to bed hungry, but his dream was alive. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And then, finally, something happened. A small break, a client said yes, then another and another. The momentum started to build. The same people who ignored his calls before, now they wanted to work with him. The same doors that were slammed in his face, now they were opening. Then came the moment that changed everything. One deal, one opportunity that skyrocketed his business overnight. What was once a struggling startup became a thriving company. From sleeping in his car to owning his dream home. From having nothing to inspiring millions. John didn't just succeed, he shattered expectations. He proved every doubter wrong. Not because he was lucky, not because he had connections, but because he refused to quit. Because he bet on himself when no one else would. And that's the truth about success. It's not about where you start. It's about how badly you want it. It's about refusing to accept failure as the end. It's about pushing forward when every part of you wants to quit. Your story isn't over yet. Your struggle isn't permanent. Right now, you might be in the hardest chapter of your life, but that just means the best part is still coming. If this story inspired you, don't stop here. Keep going, keep fighting, and watch what happens next.